I gave everybody a moment. I know it's a lot. You guys all knew her way longer than me. Way longer.
Never have I seen Oriange so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the Charlian Manor to celebrate Mournbrader's life and mourn her passing.
She was counting on the theory that a soul's ether burns brightest at the moment of its passing. A scholar until the very end.
Oh, Moen. I miss you so much already. Our list of grievances against the Asians is already overlong. Must they continue to add to it?
Would we had arrived just a few moments sooner? Just a few moments. What would you have done? Were you going to bring Aether? We needed Aether. We needed her Ether. So unless one of you wanted to die, there's nothing you can do about this. This is what we've agreed to as Scions. Every single one of us needs to be ready to die. Going into the Nabrialis trial without the Blessing of Light, I needed to have been willing to die. That's what we agreed to. Not a single person here is immortal.
As Mournbrader was a native of Charlian, I feel it is only fitting that we gather before the Mark of the Scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? 'Tis a monument found at Ratherfrost. It is sacred to Thaliak, the guardian deity of the City of Learning. There shall we pray for our dear friend's soul and bid her a peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal.
They could share Ether. I mean, it's a lot of Ether. It's a lot of Ether. I'm just saying, there's a very strong chance that there's nothing they could have done. That it was fast, it was a moment decision. Is it sad when somebody dies in the line of duty? Yes, but there are... In the line of duty is the key phrase that makes this okay. Nothing was taken from her. Nothing was taken. Something was given. It only needed to be given because of Midgard. But it was given. There's a beauty and a sense of duty to that, and I'm on board. Now, if we can do anything to stop further people from having to give that much, that's great. But it is not a time to think back to what if somebody else had been there to give alongside or with her? Would it have turned out different? That's a bunch of what ifs you'll never get to. The best way to stop it from happening again is to get my Blessing of Light back, and for that, it's Midgard. It's Midgard. Midgard's the only person that can stop it from happening the same way should we be given another opportunity. I have got to get the Blessing of Light back. Or somebody else does. It's you.
Forgive me, Moonbreeder. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death, a fair exchange.
Screw you.
Other bargains will be struck.
What did you give up? What did you give up? Nice to bargain from a position of immortality. How did this help him? How did this help him? And what did Moen Breda owe him for? I need Heidelin to explain her side of that covenant. Because so far it feels like we're paying a tab for something we had nothing to do with. As far as I can tell, he benefits from us locking an Ascian away. As far as I can tell, I have only used the Blessing of Light to benefit his cause. As a matter of fact, yesterday in Coils, I felt sad for the dragons, and I was ready to defend their cause. So as far as I can tell, all he's done is hurt himself. So I kind of need Heidelin to step up and tell us what the heck is going on.
Though we have said our farewells, the pall of sadness has diminished but little. Forgive me. As antecedent, it is my job to be a pillar of strength for all others to lean upon. Yet, I also believe the grief we feel now is precious in its own way and not to be lightly swept aside. Do you not agree, Meteor?
Absolutely. Take as long as you need. You guys had a much longer relationship with her. Some of them have known her from before this, so, like, take as long as you need.
"'Tis as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But 'tis a pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Moen Breda, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need remind you of this, of course. 'Tis for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Meteor. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come.
A victory won.
a comrade lost. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on toward the light of a new day.
Is that 2-5? I think that's 2-5. I didn't get an achievement for it though, did I? The blue text makes it seem like that was the end of a big moment. So if it's not, this must be like the wrap up. That was 2-5. Okay. That transition is something that, like, even as a story skipper, I'm familiar with the last quest kind of fading out to like a big quote, and then we hang tight for 30, 40, 60 days. So this should be 2-5-5. Thank you guys. Yes, this is 2-5-5. So am I mad at everyone every time they do something and something terrible happens as a result because they couldn't possibly predict the future? As far as I can tell, as far as I know, Midgard Somer cut the brakes in my car, which doesn't benefit him, and then I got in a crash. It is not that he lived his own life and something bad happened to me, and yes, I interacted with him. As far as I can tell, he put me on a path of to destruction and said, not my fault if you crash. Yes, it is. It 100% is. And if anybody can prove that you cut the brakes in my car and then I got in a crash, you would absolutely be held legally and likely criminally liable. It absolutely is your fault. He took away the one thing that made me capable of fighting things other people were not. Beyond just good fighting skill and perseverance. So, I don't understand why he did it. And so I'm mad at him.